Can I ask all of you to visualize something with me? Imagine being on a beach during the summer holidays, sunbathing under the blazing weather. How does that feel? Fun? Relaxing? You see, we humans are not wired to fear heat. We associate it with beaches, summer holidays, lotter under the sun. Heat feels harmless, pleasant even, and yet it is quietly, mercilessly killing us. And there's two layers to this problem. The first is a problem of awareness. And to put this in perspective, in 2023 alone, Europe saw over 60,000 heat related deaths in a single summer. In British Columbia, Canada, a sudden heat dome killed 619 people in just 1 week, more than triple the region's average weekly death rate. And these aren't just statistics. They're grandparents who couldn't cool down, workers with no respite, children in sweltering classrooms, people dying alone in homes without fans, without air conditioning, and without relief. We rightfully fear dramatic disasters, hurricanes, floods, school shootings. But why does heat slip past our notice? Last year, in the United States, extreme heat likely killed more people than hurricanes, more people than floods, tornadoes, school shootings, and gang violence combined. Combined. Globally, heat kills more than armed conflict and terrorism. So the deadliest climate threat is invisible to most, but it is here now. The second layer to this problem is inequity. Heat does not affect everyone equally. Low income families, outdoor workers, the elderly, and marginalized communities are least able to adapt. They cannot afford air conditioning, work in warehouses or construction sites without shade or water, and live in neighborhoods dominated by concrete and asphalt rather than trees or parks. Cities designed without their needs in mind have become ovens for the vulnerable. And this isn't about discomfort. At 42 degrees Celsius, your body begins to cook from the inside out. Your organs start to fail. And it's not hyperbolic, it's a brutal medical fact. And we've built our cities that amplify this danger. Concrete, asphalt, glass, trap heat, creating urban heat islands that can be 10 degrees hotter than surrounding green areas. We've turned our metropolis into ovens for the poor, the elderly, and outdoor workers. So the problem isn't just that we underestimate heat. It's that those who are most exposed often have no means to protect themselves. And awareness alone won't save lives. To stop this silent killer, we must confront both the invisibility of the threat and the inequity of who suffers the most. So, what do? We treat heat not as an inconvenience, not as a political talking point, but as a present day public health emergency. And the solution is twofold. Firstly, we have to adapt. We need a national response we can remember and demand. Let's call it the CARE framework. That is CARE. C, cool our cities. Laws to mandate reflective roof payments and national initiative to achieve 30% tree canopy cover in our hottest urban zones. A, activate emergency systems. Move beyond alerts to mobilization. Heat warnings must trigger automatic wellness checks and the opening of 24/7 cooling centers with medical support. R, regulate to protect workers. We need federal heat safety standards that guarantee paid rest breaks in shaded or cooled areas. E, equip our health response. Train our first responders and doctors to treat heat illness. Deploy mobile cooling units and create heat specific protocols in every hospital. The second layer to the solution is transforming for the future. And this includes three things. One, accelerating a just transition. We must triple our investments in community solar and wind projects. Number two is corporate accountability and smart policy. Implement a carbon fee and dividend, putting a price on pollution and returning that revenue directly into the households. Number three, redesigning our habitat. Update building codes to mandate passive cooling designs like cross ventilation and green. Now, I know what you might be thinking. With all this evidence, with all these solutions, why isn't it being done yet? And we hear one main refrain from those in power. There's no funding. But you see, this is a fallacy of accounting, not affordability. We find billions for disaster recovery after the crisis for flood damage, wildfire suppression, and healthcare for the sick. We are paying the massive reactive bill for suffering while claiming we can't afford the proactive investment that would prevent it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not a lack of money. It's a lack of priority. So the core obstacle isn't feasibility, it's will. It's the lack of a constant loud demand making inaction unattendable. And that demand must come from us. We must be the voice that turns a seasonal footnote into a permanent, non negotiable priority. When they say we can't, we must show them the human cost and ask, how can you not? And this is precisely why your role is not passive and your call to action is the mechanism to break this cycle. Number one, vote with heat as your priority. In every election, ask one question. What is your specific funded plan to implement heat adaptation and clean energy transition? Number two, demand local action. Attend city council meetings. Push for urban forestry budgets, cool pavement pilot projects, and tenant right to cool ordinances. And so, ladies and gentlemen, let's cool our cities, transform our energy, and protect every life at risk. Because these deaths are not caused by a conspiracy anymore. They're caused by our own complacency. And that is something we have the power to end starting today. Thank you.